Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partner in crime Amanda Bryan. Today we are covering Big Brother 2 episodes 8 through 10. And this is Hardy's first HOH. How do you feel about these episodes? Were they easy for you to watch or did you get bored?
I liked episode 9. That one was really good. 10 was a little slow for me. Just a lot of really predictable stuff that I knew was going to happen. But other than that, I mean, like the whole Super incident was funny and took up a lot of time. It was really good. But yeah, I mean, they were okay. They were an okay watch for me. I'm not like in love. I know you feel different.
So Big Brother 2, I really love Big Brother 2. I understand what you're saying about it being a little bit slow.
Yeah.
To me, I wish they spiked up in the edit the outcome, maybe not being so decisive. It being so simple, it made a couple episodes be a drag, or an episode be a drag because we knew the outcome. But I get what you're saying, and not having a veto in some of these rounds can seem like a par for the course. We're just here.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if the veto was in it would make a whole different dynamic to this game. Obviously, it's a big part of current Big Brother that they've never taken away again. So I really do think that the veto helps the game. It's probably my favorite part of the game because nominations aren't just a 50-50 split. It's not just A or B going home. It could be A's coming off and C's going up, or E's coming up, or like there's so many other possibilities and so much other things to think about game wise that I like about the veto. And like maybe that is why the season is just a little bit harder for me to watch, because once the nominations are up, it's like it's A or B. Which one is it? And which one's going to try and which one's not? And that's kind of how it's been. So
yeah. So I understand what you're saying. They noticed that they needed to add something. They add the veto the next season. Now it's not the veto we know now today, but they incorporate the veto next season.
Yeah,
and they try to spice up throughout the week. But the episode 8 starts out with everybody discussing Autumn's vote, and everybody was there was a decent amount of people were surprised it was unanimous. Everyone thought Nicole wouldn't vote for her, but I was under the assumption that Boogie and them wanted to do Kent. So if Nicole did do Kent and Boogie, Will, and Shannon knew about it, I think they would have hopped onto Kent. That was the assumption I got the previous episodes.
Yes. Now, well, with Nicole is still kind of like on the Hardy train right now. Like she's all about like that alliance right now. And so I don't know if maybe with just the edit, maybe that's why they didn't, you know what I mean? That's why they didn't push it that way. Or like they probably talked about it. You know what I mean? It's probably was definitely talked about and gone over, but since it didn't really pan out.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh,
Nicole's
it's a
Hardy.
Yeah, and we get some information about Hardy maybe distrusting Nicole a little bit, because I guess Autumn called out Hardy right before she left, and Hardy was like the only person that would have done that was Nicole, which she did tell Autumn about it. So there was a little more rocky. I don't remember this right. I always thought they hit it off right away, but I didn't realize they had a little bit of a rocky relationship a little bit here.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody's got like a rocky relationship right now. I mean, this is like the most it's a split household because there's like two alliances going on. There's one, one side and then the other side. But it seems like even the people within their own alliances have issues with each other. So it's like you're getting a little bit of a dynamic of a little bit of all of it. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Do you prefer like the split house, or do you prefer like more of a fluid game?
That's a hard question because we've seen great seasons with both. Great seasons with both strategy and gameplay. I probably prefer a more fluid game just because there's more possibilities, and it's like I said, it's a little bit less predictable. It's more entertaining that way. But I mean, what about you? What do
I
you like?
prefer a more fluid game
Yeah.
to play and to watch. Preferred.
Yeah.
I think the one side thing. It's like it could be entertaining, but like if Chilltown wins, we kind of know who they're going after. If
Right.
Top wins, we kind of know who they're going after.
Yeah.
So it's like that's my issue. I do think there's other seasons that do it better. So
Yeah.
we do have a
Yeah.
split house and they do have it better. But I would prefer to always see or the small factions of 2 to 3 people alliances throughout the house.
Yeah. I like it that way better. Remember like season 20? Like season 20 was kind of a little bit one side of the house versus the other side of the house.
No,
But
it
that was
was
a good it was a good season.
it was one side of the house against the other side of the house, and the other side of the house didn't know what the other side was.
What the other, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much,
So
which I didn't understand.
he's like,
I
who voted? Who didn't vote with us?
Scotty.
It has to be
With
Scotty.
that weird random vote that he fucking did for no reason. Remember
Yeah,
that? He vote he
yeah,
did for literally no reason. Love Scotty.
yeah. I love Scotty too.
He lives in
So
Chicago. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
He does.
So we
Add
get
him on Twitter.
we get a little bit more of the Will Shannon relationship. They're going over things, and basically Will asks her, like, if things work out, would you potentially break up with your boyfriend? She goes, yeah.
Dude, I can't believe. I bet when Shannon got out of the house, she got rough. I bet.
No offense, I wouldn't. Why would you wait for her?
What do you mean?
Like, if you were her boyfriend, why are you sitting there waiting for her?
Oh, I don't know. I
I
don't
don't.
because he's a fool. That's why. Because he's a
Yeah.
fool.
There's no way I'm getting made out to look like a fucking idiot on TV by my girlfriend of like 16 months or 13 months or something?
16 months. 16
Yeah.
months. That's a
16
year and
months.
4 months.
Yeah. So almost a year and a half. And you go in there and start just macking on some dude. And then basically saying, I'm like, I ain't shit on TV left and right. So why would you wait? And you can play. If I was him, I would have been gone. I'd have been out.
Yeah.
I would have.
If I was him, I'd been like, CBS, you can get those cameras out of my face. I absolutely will not go on camera for you. Like, I wonder how much they paid him for that.
There's no way.
You know they paid him. You have to know they paid him for that.
Right.
I mean, I would think.
We see this a couple times in Big Brother, but this is the first one, and man, not for me.
No. Definitely not.
We do get to see Bunky talking about the peanut butter jelly situation and talking about if it's another guy versus women thing, maybe throwing it for the women, and Hardy was not happy about that.
Dude, I think Hardy overreacted so much. What do you think?
I think he overreacted, but I get what he's saying. Like, there's no way, especially to him, he's a bodybuilder, like, kind of.
Yeah.
So a week without protein. I mean, peanut butter is protein, but it's not enough protein he needs.
Right.
So the way he works out, it's not enough. It's not gonna give him the strength to work out the way he works out. So
no.
I get why he's like, no, fuck that. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Bunky just did it because Bunky's a nice guy. Bunky's a nice guy. He's been hearing the women complain how hungry they are. He feels bad. He feels bad as a person. I think he was just suggesting it because he thought it was the right thing to do. I really do feel that way. I think Hardy was a little harsh on him, in my personal opinion.
Hardy was a little rough on him, but get that out of my face. That's what.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from too. Like, just like looking out for your own self need. Yeah.
Especially if it was like slop, get that out of my face. You know why I'm going slop.
They say it tastes like tasteless oatmeal. It's literally just like glue.
No, thank you.
Dude, slop. I don't even know what I would do. I would try to, you know what I would try to do? I think I'd try to make it into a waffle.
A lot of brown sugar. I'd add a lot of brown sugar.
A lot of brown sugar and cinnamon. I think I can make it into a passable waffle.
Salt. Yeah, add salt. As much salt
as
you can.
Listen, because also you could like bake it a little bit and then like deep fry it, make like a churro. I mean, you'll figure, I would figure something out.
I
I would figure something out.
You got all the free time in the world. You might as well do something.
Exactly. Someone can figure out how to cook some damn slop. Like, they just eat it out of a bowl, like cereal. No, what are you doing? At least like bake it or something.
We did get to see that out of Chicken George. Chicken George did a lot of crazy stuff with this.
Dude,
I think he tried to put it.
How long was he on slop for?
Like 48 days or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, something like that, or 30. It was a good amount. It was a good amount. But we do get Bunky and Hardy making up, and Hardy's pretty much, he's like, Bunky's like, what do I need to do? He's like, just show out. Just don't throw. That's all you need to do.
Don't throw the cop.
And we're good. And he's like, all right, I won't do that. And Bunky got scared. He's like, I just pissed the HOH off. So we get a food competition.
I knew he would not have nominated Bunky though.
No,
I really don't think so. No, even Bunky could have like flipped out on Hardy. I still think Hardy would have been like Will and Shannon.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We get a food competition. I personally like the food competitions that are less group oriented, and it's like this side versus this side. So we get the haves and have-nots. That's why.
I disagree. I love the group food competitions. They get to pick what food they get. Oh yeah, I love those comps. When they're like, we won fried chicken, and everyone like freaks out. That's such good TV. I love that. I love those moments.
I know. I just love to see people's faces when they realize they're eating shit all week. They're like, oh. I don't know. I like to see people be miserable just a little bit. I mean, they're living in a house that they eat peanut butter jelly and they get to cry about it. I think it's hilarious. We get
not eat peanut butter jelly 3 times a day for a week. Oh,
not
that's
a problem.
24 peanut butter jelly sandwiches. That's 2 loaves of bread.
I could do it.
Oh, I could do it. I just don't want to do it.
You know what? Maybe for the fun of it, I will track it one day, and that's all I'll do for all week. And
have a grilled one sometime. Have you ever made yourself a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah, not for me.
I used to have a whole glass of milk with it.
When I was a cook, we used to do one. It was all right. It's all right. But basically they have a bunch of balls coming over the wall and they try to catch them, and whatever they catch, they win. And Buggy catches a bunch. Nicole doesn't catch a lot.
Nicole doesn't catch any, does she?
Yeah, I think she catches like 3. Bunky catches like 3, and he squeals his first time. That was fun. I think
there's a lot they didn't go over. You see how full the pool was?
Yeah. I love some of the quotes, the one-liners, these 3 episodes. We get a lot of good ones. Hardy making fun of copying Bunky squeal was hilarious to me. So we get a section about Bunky and Ken's friendship and how they're staying in the HOH room because Ken snores like a madman and he sleeps in the bed and Bunky is asleep on the floor. And we get one of my favorite quotes. He goes, "Hey buddy, the bed's nice and comfortable." He's like, "Come on." And he's patting the bed and it's just like that. Whisper, "Come on." And he's like, "You can get in bed, but you gotta wear a shirt, pants, gloves, hat, shoes." Monkey's like, "I'll just sleep on the floor."
Buggy's over it. He's like, he knows he can't escape Kent, and so he's just like, okay, like I'm just gonna deal with his ignorance.
We do get
pretty much what it is.
Yeah, we do get to see Krista talking about their relationship and how when Bunky falls asleep, Kent covers him up,
which is so sweet.
It's so cute.
I was like, this is a bunch of bullshit. Like, this is a bunch of fakeness until I saw that. And I was like, okay, maybe he does like him.
The relationship between Kent and Bunky reminds me of a lot of Rudy and Hatch.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It's now it's not quite the same. The relationship's totally different. It's different, but is a lot of similars. How Rudy was like, homo and all the, and he said the F word. I'm not gonna say it, and like stuff like that. And Kent pretty much said the same stuff. Go right to his face.
Right to his face. I mean, in the beginning, remember the quote they keep playing over and over at the very beginning?
Alternative lifestyle. I don't want to throw in my face. But we get to see the relationships develop.
I'm gonna say a really hot take. I don't want y'all coming after me for it, but people always are like, I don't want your lifestyle on my face. Yet they wear American flag hat, American flag t-shirt, American flag sticker on the truck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Just saying.
Everybody has their own lifestyle that they throw in everybody else's face.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and as long as you're clothed or not have anything offensive, then I don't really care what you wear or do. That's not my business.
Listen, if you're not, if I'm not paying, if you're not paying my bills and I'm not paying yours, it don't matter. That's how I feel. It literally does not matter. As long as you can take care of yourself, that's what it is.
Yeah. And then we get Kent saying like, "Good night, you homo."
I really cringe when I hear that. I'm like,
but Bunky laughs and he says, "Good night, you ornery man." So I mean, it's all fun. They had their little bond, and it's fun. I think it's actually a bright spot on the season, to be honest.
Especially for those times back in like what was it, 2002?
I think was 2001 was Survivor Borneo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this came out after Borneo. So
after Australian Outback, I think.
It is for sure after Borneo.
Yeah.
I think it's before Australian Outback, to be honest with you, because we have people from Borneo on the season later on. You don't remember that? Oh, I'm sorry. So
I've seen this season before, people, but it's been like 10 years.
Yeah. So we get to hear about some of the other alliances in the house. We get the Untouchables with Hardy, Krista, and Monica, and they're all in. Hardy's all in, and Krista's all in. But like, really, this doesn't last very long.
Dude, I wish Monica got more screen time because I really like Monica, but I feel like she's like so like non-represented.
I think the problem is, like I said, the beginning of the season, nobody was a dud coming to the cast.
Yes.
We had Justin as a crazy person. Besides that, but he did have his moments where he's like, "Oh, this guy's crazy. This guy's a crazy person." He was a crazy person before the night thing.
Yeah.
Nobody on this cast was a complete dud. Even Autumn was her own character and had a purpose on the show. And she probably was the worst of the characters on the season, and she was taken out pretty early. So
yeah,
that's the problem with the season. Monica's losing thing is because there's other personalities that are just, you have the Bunky and Kent relationship.
Yeah, you have. I mean, even Nicole and Krista are super lively and like open people. And then like you said, you have like Will, you have Boogie, you have Hardy, you have Shannon. Yeah, there is a lot of big personalities on the season. But like, I don't know, I still like Monica. And I think that
we get more of her as the season goes on.
Yeah, so. We do.
But we done. What did you think? Like, I think the Untouchables is. I don't know I can't remember how long it lasts, but I know it doesn't last.
Here's my thing is like, if you know Krista is kind of on Boogie and Will's side, why are you like, you should know that she's not going to work with you. Like, if you know, like, it's all about who you jive with. Like, that's what I feel like Big Brother is a little bit. It's like, who hangs out with who talks with who who does certain things together, like eating or, going out to smoke together or like things like that. And I feel like Krista hangs out with Will and Boogie often. I think, like, you know what I mean? Like really often. And I if I were Hardy and Monica, I wouldn't want an alliance with Krista because I know that she wouldn't be loyal to me.
I mean, I don't think she's gonna win an HOH on purpose and put anybody up. I think she's putting herself in a great position as of right now.
And they point that out.
Yeah,
they point that out. On how good of a position
Kent tries to put it on a bad position, but I think he's mistaken. He's because both sides might see the casualty. But like no, like Top is not going to take a shot at Krista.
No.
And Chilltown's not going to take a shot at Krista. They're just not. So by her doing what she did, by getting rid of Autumn, she showed loyalty to both sides in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And
she knew that.
And so she is right in the middle. She doesn't have to win an HOH. She's golden. And I think she is loyal to Hardy and Monica right here. But I think she's not going to do anything to save them either.
No.
She's not going to win an HOH.
She's her own alliance member. She's going to do what's best for her in the situation. Yes. And right now she knows that she's in a good position and she doesn't want everybody else to know that she's in a good position. I think that's where she's at right now. It's just like she kind of knows how lucky she is and she's clinging on to like Will, Boogie, Shannon, and then clinging on to like Hardy, Nicole, and Kent and Bunky. And it's like like you said, she's in a really sweet spot to where neither side wants to get rid of her because they need her.
Yeah.
Especially Chilltown now.
The problem is Kent and Bunky doesn't realize they're not in the greatest position on the side that they're on. And top is with Kent, Bunky, Monica, Hardy, and Nicole.
Yep.
And Nicole's not gonna be more loyal to Hardy or to Kent or Bunky than Hardy. Monica's not gonna be loyal to them over Hardy. Hardy's not gonna be loyal to them over Monica or Nicole.
No.
So like Kent and Bunky literally are at the bottom of this alliance and they have no idea. And they're so focused on getting Chilltown out, and Chilltown's so focused on getting them out.
Yeah,
that they really
what's really going on in the underbrew of it all.
Right, they really need to see, like, because we see later on, Boogie pitches Bunky going home, which isn't a bad move for Hardy. I said it is a bad move for Hardy, but it's not a great move for Boogie and them either. So. Because like at the time he's not.
It's a double-edged sword situation.
So I mean, I get it at the end. You don't want to sit with Bunky at the end because this is still some base of lightness to win these games, especially early on. So I understand that, but it's like final. What they're at 9 or 6?
They're 8. At 8. No, 9. Well, Shannon going home would make it 8.
Because they started out with 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be at 9. Yeah.
And Justin got evicted.
Yeah, so they're final 8. Yeah, okay. Final 9 or final 8 after this. Okay. So we also, Top. This is the first time we hear Top, the other people.
Yeah.
Such a name.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite name so far? The Alliances, the Untouchables, Chilltown, or Top?
Probably Chilltown.
I mean, Chilltown is Chilltown. So.
I mean, Chilltown. This is my only issue with Chilltown is that Chilltown is Will, Shannon, and Boogie, not just Will and Boogie. Will and Boogie were not the strong part of Chilltown. It was Shannon and Will. Shannon and Will were the one that strategized. Like, how many scenes have we got of Will and Boogie strategizing together?
Oh, we get some. We get a lot these episodes.
We get some, but not as much as Shannon and Will.
Yeah, the problem is we don't really see Will the player until after Shannon leaves.
Yeah, you're right.
Going on going on to the rest of the season, we'll probably see more. Will. I do think Will plays better his second time playing than his first time.
Oh yeah.
But
he knows he has a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, but we get to see him start to have some fun.
Right.
We get to see Shannon's laugh is fucking annoying. I'm sorry. Or whatever it was.
I didn't even notice it.
You never noticed it? Oh.
I'll have to watch it.
Bad. It's
pay
so
attention next
fake.
time.
It's so fake.
Well, she's not on there, but yeah.
Just go back to episode 8 and when she's fake smoking. Oh, it's so bad.
I'll have to go see it.
The fake smoking scene was just terrible. Shannon's trying to fake smoke with Monica and Nicole.
Dude, she's losing it. That was the point in time in the house that she was like, she didn't know what the fuck she wanted to do.
She's like,
she wanted to be friends with everyone. She wanted to hate everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you got multiple personality disorder or something. Like,
yeah, she's like, you guys feel like this all the time? It's like, I've smoked a cigarette. I'm not a big cigarette smoker. I do not smoke anymore. I've smoked cigarettes. It does nothing like what she's describing. She's making it seem like she's floating on cloud 9. Girl, you're fucking smoking a cigarette. It's probably probably cheap ass cigarettes at that. So it's like, come on, stop. You're just looking for attention, and it's kind of silly. I hate this.
Oh, a huge attention thing.
Yeah.
Huge attention thing. I don't like cigarettes, so not my thing. My mom has smoked cigarettes like my whole life, and back in the early 90s, it wasn't considered bad or against the law yet to smoke in the car with your children. So I remember like driving the car with riding the car with my mom, and I would almost get car sick because of the cigarette smell of the car. So like I remember that smell and that feeling in my stomach, and I just could not do it. Not do it.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. So we get to see Hardy try to offer Boogie a deal. He goes, if I don't nominate you now, you don't nominate me next week if you win HOH. And how do you
Why do
feel?
we, I was gonna say, why do we think that Boogie didn't want to do that?
Because he called his bluff. He said that in a scene. He goes talks to Will and Shannon. He said, give me like 45 minutes." Hardy's like, "You have 30." And so he talks to Will and Shannon. He's like, they already discussed doing this to other people if they want HOH, saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, if you give me this, and if not, you're going up." He's like, "I'm calling his bluff. I don't believe him." And so he discussed this with Will and Shannon to try to get a different deal on the table. So he discussed it with them. He goes up to him and goes, "Hey, I don't want to stab Will in the back, and I feel Will and Shannon in the back. I feel like if I take
Right.
that deal, I will be a big slime ball." And all the things they say bad about Will, Shannon, and Boogie, they really do stick together, and none of them throw each other under the bus at all.
That's true. That is
So
very, very true.
like you sit there and say, "Oh, they're doing what they constantly say they're doing whatever to win." Really, like they are just sticking with the people they had clicked with, and
Yeah. They knew that. I mean, that's kind of what we did in Broski. If you
so
remember, like we knew we were on the bottom, like all four of us, me, you, Laura, and
Hector.
Hector. That's right. And Hector,
Mm.
we're all on the bottom. We all stuck together and rode
Yeah.
it till the end.
So
Boom, boom, boom.
it's just it goes that way. It's just like you got to look and pay attention to what's going on, and it's just it's a whole mess that Hardy keeps saying, "I'm not here to win. I'm here to just make sure they don't win." It's just annoying.
It
Boogie,
is.
but basically Boogie offers a counter offer to Hardy. Said, "Hey, put up Bunky and myself and let the chips fall." And because Boogie feels like he's more liked in the house, so by doing that, he's thinking that he can convince Bunky to be voted off, which I don't think would have happened if that was a situation. I think
No, I
Boogie
don't
would have
think
been
so
gone.
either.
I think
Yeah.
he's overestimating his relationships in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and so and then he's like, "When then me, Will, or Shannon will keep that deal with you." And he pretty much said it's not a package deal; it's a you and me deal. And he's like, "Well,
Right.
I'm declining then." And he called his bluff right to his face. He's like, "I'm not gonna do that to Will and Shannon. I'm sorry." And
I think that, hear me out. So if Boogie did take this deal, okay, if
mhm,
Boogie did take this deal, one thing I think that he overlooked is that he could have taken this deal because he already knows the outcome anyway. He
mm,
knew that when Will Shannon was going to go home, he was going to lose a member anyway. Why not solidify yourself a little bit with somebody else, even if it's only lasting for a couple weeks, just so you know you're at least safe in that aspect, and you know that Hardy's in another alliance in the house, and at least keeps your name from being thrown around in the pool of people to go home.
because Boogie knew if he wasn't gonna take the deal, that's who he wanted to nominate. If
Yeah,
Hardy wasn't gonna take the deal, Boogie wanted to nominate Hardy. And if he
that's
took the
true.
deal and nominated Hardy, he'd be going against his deal.
Dude, it was so cool to see Boogie and Hardy at the end of that comp,
So so what
right? Wasn't it them two at the end? Or no, Kent. I'm sorry, it was Kenton.
yeah, at
Kent,
that
yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah, at the end.
So
Kenton.
we get to nomination ceremony, and we get Shannon and Will are the ones that are nominated.
Oh, shocker.
And Shannon
Loses her mind.
loses her mind. She calls Hardy a coward and jealous and all this
Which is
stuff.
not what it is.
It makes no sense. She's
Hardy's
talking
literally
about
looking at her like she's an idiot. Like
she
she's literally
kind
like
of
an
is.
alien spouting words. He's literally looking at her like this, like, is this girl really serious right now? And he was
Yeah.
just like dumbfounded. He's like, where are you even getting this from?
Right.
He's like, rah, 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 rah.
Okay.
So episode 9, Hardy's decision to nominate Shannon and Will causes a ton of drama, obviously.
Ton.
Shannon does not handle being nominated well. Not at all. I think she's already struggling with relationships in the house, obviously more than anyone else. So I can see her bugging out. Like it was definitely predictable, and I would be shocked if she was just like, I love everybody, it's fine. That was not going to happen.
No. So Shannon was like, her problem is she knows that there's no chance of her and Will staying. One of them's gonna go. And she says, Hardy, you're jealous. you're a coward. And Hardy's like, what do you mean? So if I put you and somebody else up, you probably still go home. If I put Will and somebody else up, Will probably still goes home. And
Yep.
he's like, yeah, but then the challenge. He's like, you're a coward. And it's like, what's the difference? One of you guys were still going to go home.
Yes, it doesn't
Tell me
matter.
what's the
I won.
difference, right? And she
won.
basically she's mad. She's like a little kid who you took her toy and said you can't have this back, and
Yeah.
that she can't have her toy, and that's what she is. She's mad. There's no option for her because there's no veto.
I don't like Shannon as a house. I'm not a big Shannon fan as a house guest.
No.
She reminds me a lot of Nicole, where she can dish it but she can't take it.
She's probably somebody who hasn't heard a no a ton in her life.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
Yeah,
100% tell that. Oh
right.
yeah.
So she's somebody who's definitely been told you're the greatest, you're adorable, you're beautiful, da 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 da, and all that stuff the entire life. And then somebody's like, no, I don't like you. And we have a little
especially someone like Hardy, who she probably views on like the same level as her, of like attractiveness and like, you know, egotistical manners. And to have someone like that who's like, no, you're not accepted. She literally can't handle that.
Yeah. We get a confessional from like Bunky. Monica is like, they're all throwing a fit. Chilltown doesn't know what to do. Monica's like, I think Chilltown thought their shit didn't stink.
Dude, I love Monica. I mean, it needed to happen. It was predictable it was going to happen. And Shannon going off the rails like she did just put the cherry on top of the cake for the television part of it. So it's like, you know, the lines are definitely drawn, and everybody knows 100% Chilltown is going to be broken up, and how is that going to affect the rest of the game?
Right.
It does.
Right. And then we get to Will and Shannon talking in the dining room and deciding who is going to stay and who's going to go. Will's like, I'll go home. Shannon's like, no, I'm going to go home. You have a better chance. And Will's like, all right, I'm checked in. I'm going to make my personal mission to get Hardy out this game. And so they discuss it, and they pretty much, you know, say, I'm just going to make the life a living hell. And they're like, okay. Will just sits there and shuts his mouth, and that's what he should do in this situation, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. See, again, I wish that Will would have taken this opportunity to build better relationships in the house with people, because Shannon's leaving. And once Shannon is gone, his number one is gone. So yeah, he's got Boogie and he's kind of got Krista. But if I were Will, that wouldn't be good enough. That wouldn't be good enough for me to only have two people, on my side.
But if
you know what I mean?
If he's seen as somebody who's getting people on his side, he might become the new target. Because if somebody's a savvy player, they see that, like, Will has so and so and so now. Why won't you just get Will out now? And so,
but Will's already on the bottom though, and they're like, okay, time to finish off Chilltown and be like a Pagonging all over again. That's what I would be afraid of.
Yeah, but like, it's not the same as Survivor and Big Brother. It's not tribes. Yes, there are two different alliances, but it's an individual game from the start.
Yeah,
Big Brother is an individual game from day one. Survivor, especially in the older days, is seen as a tribe game, especially the first half, even into the merge sometimes. Big Brother is an individual game, so no matter if your alliance is down, as long as you're still in the game, you still have a chance.
That's true.
You can't say that
I agree
in Survivor.
With that. Listen, I always have the argument of, you can't complain about the outcome of your game if you lost a competition, because competitions are a part of the game. Yeah. Now, I think that some competitions are biased compared to for some people, absolutely. But if you had a chance to win a comp and you didn't win a comp and you went up on for nomination, you can't be mad at anybody but at the end of the day at yourself, because you didn't win that competition to save yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you feel that way too?
To me, if you need to win a competition, you're playing badly.
Yeah.
Especially in Survivor. Big Brother is a little bit different. But in Survivor, if you need to win immunity, then you're playing bad. Because it's not like Big Brother where HOH, if the wrong person wins HOH, then you're screwed. In Survivor, you could literally control your own destiny by your relationships you make in Survivor.
Right.
how many people,
because of the jury system, which
right?
is both present in both games, but the jury system is definitely, I feel like, a lot more tougher on Survivor because it is a tribe game and there's half the cast that you don't know the first
But
what
the
2
different
weeks, 2.5
the
weeks when you
difference
first
is
are getting adjusted and you're getting adjusted to the game and getting adjusted to being this lifestyle and this people in this show. And then that's why I think that sometimes tribe swaps happen too early, because I think that it takes time to adjust.
mm-hmm.
And once you get adjusted and you start laying eggs, that's when you ruffle the nest. You know what I mean? You don't wait for them to get kind of comfortable. And there's a swap again. Two votes in. Like, that's not enough to really make relationships with people. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying, but to me, the reason why Big Brother comps are more important is that you can have the numbers 5-1. If that one person wins HOH, they could put you up. In Survivor, if that person wins immunity, you can still control your own destiny. In Big Brother, you necessarily can't do that. Because if you're on the block and like there's no say you're on the block, your destiny's up to other people now. Yes, it's always up to other people in Survivor, but it's a difference between 5 people being an option than 2.
Right.
So that's why I think a comp in HOH is a little bit more important in Big Brother than Survivor.
Now I'm gonna be devil's advocate with you here for a little bit, because how many block busters have we seen that have gone on the block time and time and time again in the game, and they still come off, and they might be considered a pawn, that a block sitter or whatever, but their social game in that moment is not sending them home. They're on the block, they're close to the fire, but they're still good enough to be on the block and be in control of their own game.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying that comps mean more to me in the game of Big Brother than they do Survivor.
Right. No, I agree.
Because in Survivor, you win just immunity for yourself. That's all you win. Big Brother, you get to say on to who goes home.
Yeah, that's true. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Say, let's just hypothetically say Will and Dan are both playing the game.
Right.
And you win HOH. I win HOH. Now I have an option. Put both those up. That means it guarantees one of them going home. And Survivor, a 1 and 2 alliance can survive that if they're able to play it out. But in Big Brother, if the wrong person wins HOH and you're going to block and you can't win veto, one of you or your number one's going home, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
It comes down to a comp. That's why I think comps are a little bit more important in Big Brother than Survivor, because it comes with power. Immunity wins doesn't necessarily come with power.
That's why I think Survivor is harder than Big Brother, because you always have a possibility to go home if you don't win immunity. Or on Big Brother, as long as you're not nominated, you're pretty much safe. You know what I mean? Other than the veto being a possibility, but even your chance of going up with the veto is still, however percentage of how many people are left.
Yeah.
Whereas Survivor, your name could always be written down, and the pie is still there, where there's still a percentage of person. But it's so much easier to go home in Survivor, I feel like, than Big Brother. I feel like it's easier to avoid the block on Big Brother than eviction in Survivor.
I think each game has a merit for being difficult. Now, Survivor, you actually are outside, so that is for sure a lot harder than living in a house, sitting in your pajama pants all day. But I think the game mechanics in both, I think I prefer. I think at its peak, I think Big Brother is a better game at its peak, without all the twists, without all the stupid silliness. The problem with Big Brother is that the all the twists ruins the game. It downgrades the game, because it makes the game mechanics less important. Because if you have pull 2 people off the block or steal someone's HOH ring, like really, like that just changes the entire game. It's not Big Brother. It's a mess. Same thing with Survivor. Once you have all these stupid game breaking twists, like the Edge, like
Super Idol,
Redemption Island, where it's like they're coming in late in the game, like different things like that ruin
fire tokens.
Like I'm willing to give fire tokens another shot, but like that's the problem.
I'm willing to give fire tokens another shot on a non-returning season. Give me an all newbie season with some fire tokens, and then we'll see how that goes.
We
need new content so bad. I just cannot wait for Big Brother to start.
They wanted the experienced players to try the fire tokens out, so that way newbies had an idea, because you get shown Survivor even if you're a recruit on isolation. So they're going to show them how fire tokens kind of were in Winners at War, so that way these new players who are trying to figure out the game have some kind of concept of the fire tokens. That's why it was introduced on season 40. Now, do I think they shouldn't have? Yeah, I would prefer not in season 40.
Game changers.
I understand why they did.
They should have brought in game changers. Fire tokens would have been great. A great game changer.
Yeah, but that was what? How many seasons ago was that?
34.
6?
It was only 6 seasons before Winners of War.
So 3 years.
That's not that much.
But.
And then, but you wouldn't have Wendell on that season. You wouldn't have. Oh wait, well, I'm saying if like Winners at War was 34, but it would have been interesting to see how. I don't know. Do you like Game Changers, Cass? No,
you're
not a fan.
About quarter to half of them.
Okay. Fair enough.
Stupid train. All right. After this, we're gonna get back into the reward.
I'm sorry, you're getting tired.
No, I just. So we get to the reward challenge. Basically, it's them trying to get their laundry done because they've been like doing it backyard style. Monica's like, I don't mind it. I'm giving you one back on nature. So
the weirdest comment.
Yeah. So they all go crazy.
I would hate to do my laundry like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't like doing laundry in washer and dryer. So.
I know, right? Same. Listen, laundry.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a single dude, I would definitely cake up to a girl just so she'd do my laundry.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey,
listen, I'll pay stupid money for people. I would literally. I'm a horrible person. I would pay someone to come clean my house. Not even kidding. I probably should. I probably should.
But yeah, but it's don't even. Bunky, Shannon, Kent, Nicole win. Basically they got to transfer over the clothes they're wearing to the other team. It's kind of boring.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it was alright. You
didn't like it?
No.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was an interesting competition. It was an interesting idea for a competition.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It is what it is. It was one of those things that
they like making him halfway naked on the feeds.
Of course.
Don't they? Yeah.
I mean, you see a lot of Shannon butt before.
Yeah.
So she wears thongs all the time. So you see that.
There's literally a not safe for work subreddit on Reddit of just pictures of Big Brother parts.
Yeah. But Bunky,
Annalise is on there a lot.
Yeah, but she don't shower. I don't want to see that girl. This girl needs a shower.
Annalise?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that? They said people were in the house are having trouble with her because she was stinky and wouldn't shower, and
that's ew.
Yeah.
Girl, you're so pretty. You wash yourself.
All right, go wash your stink ass. No one wants to snuggle up to someone stinky.
Yeah.
I don't care how pretty you are.
Exactly.
I'd be like, hey, I'd like shove mints down her mouth, like get away from
deodorant. You need some deodorant.
Yeah. So, Bunky, Shannon, Kent, Nicole win. Shannon's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get all my clothes clean because I'm about to be evicted. Like, girl, you don't even need your clothes to be clean. You can just go clean it when you get home.
Exactly. Quit being lazy. That's my thing. Quit being lazy.
We get America's Choice. It's between a pull-up bar, a massage chair, and a toaster. What would you have preferred?
The toaster. Listen, I was like, Boogie's not like, I don't think toaster, or no, Will. I don't think toaster was a very good pick. Whatever. I think the toaster was the best one out of that bunch. Don't you?
Massage chair sounded pretty enticing.
I am not sitting in a massage chair with 8 other people or sitting getting something massaged. No, thank you. Like Kent, he's probably sweating in it. No.
The pull-up bar is not for me. I'm not pulling anything up. So
no.
So that is not for me. That's not for Frank. But the toaster one.
Pull up at your house. No, I'm just kidding.
Pull up my pants, like trying to keep on my waist, my no ass having. So
dead.
I ain't got no butt. What can I say?
Hey, Chuck's right there with you. He's part of the no butt. Listen, flat back.
Yeah.
Back to
Oh,
legs.
it's not
There's
that.
no.
It's not that bad. Like if I could take some of my stomach and put it on my butt, I would.
Same.
So,
Honestly.
so we get to the one of the most memorable moments of the season and of the show. Honestly, this is referenced many times over the next few years. Shannon cleans the toilet with Hardy's toothbrush.
Yes. And then broke it after she was done.
Well, it wasn't broken. She just
Well,
said, she just
yeah,
said
I know.
that. But and Boogie knows what she's doing. Will has no idea. Boogie's like, oh, do it. Will is like, what are you guys doing?
What
Like,
would you do? I'm just gonna have you go first.
If it
What
was
would you
me,
do?
it was my toothbrush. Oh, well, we forgot to say why she did it because Hardy was laughing at her while she was walking. And they play like 3 times with the toothbrushes. So
That's pretty much what it was.
yeah. So
it was a toothbrush in his mouth.
Yeah. So if that was my toothbrush, oh, I would have definitely would have split the vote to make the tie like he talked about and then kept her.
And they kept her.
I
you know
would
what I would have done?
What?
Amanda would have been ejected from the game because I would have knocked that bitch out if she was fucking scared from the toilet with the toothbrush.
I would have.
I'm telling you right now, in front of national television, it'd be worth it.
I would have definitely had that toothbrush.
America would be on my side.
I would have definitely had my spare toothbrush because he had a spare. Ready in my pocket.
Yeah.
Ready in my pocket and stood up and like brushed him like standing to stand. Will, I vote to evict you. And then go on his way out. I would have totally did that shit. In spite of that. I'd be like, hey,
torture for the next week.
I just want to let you know the toilet still needs to be cleaned. You got another toothbrush you can use though, right? I would
Oh man.
I would never let her forget that this happened. I would like be all up in her grill. Every time I see her,
I bet her coming out of that house was just press nightmare.
I would have just every time I see her be like I would have kept that shit in my back pocket. Just a spare one. If he had an extra spare one, like a couple spares.
Just walk around the house and do that to her.
Yeah, every time I see her, I just turn it on and
Oh my god.
So I would have definitely been a petty ass bitch. That was me. What do you think? Like, do you think it's kind of fucked up she did it?
Fuck yeah, it was. Yes, that's terrible. Absolutely. Especially because she wasn't going to tell him. Like, she literally had to be called into the diary. Listen, Shannon did not apologize to Hardy and mean it, period. She was made to apologize because they knew that she fucked up on national television and she had to write her views before she walked out of that house. They knew she was going to go home. So I think they were doing damage control.
I think Will.
I really think so.
Convinced her to apologize too, because he had, for one, Will had no idea what was going on. He's like, why are you getting called? He goes to the diary room and then he's sitting there and she's talking about what she's gonna do and he's rubbing her back. I think he told her, hey, you need to figure this out.
Get your shit together. Yeah.
I think he had a part in that because he had no idea.
He went in there with her.
No, he was not part of that plan. Boogie knew, but Will had no idea.
Boogie knew and didn't stop it because he knew that it was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
That's Boogie was just like, I see you, but I'm not involved. That's pretty much what he did.
Well, I wouldn't have done anything either. I would have been like, oh, this is going to be great TV. Now I think there's rules put into place because of this in the contracts, I believe.
Probably. Probably not allowed to touch people's personal items without their permission, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
So she apologized. Well, she lies. She goes to Hardy and says, oh, I was grabbing something. I accidentally broke your toothbrush in your head. I threw the head away. I tried to get you or see if they give you a new one. He's like, oh, I got another one. And then he goes and investigates. And he's like, the head doesn't look like it's broken. He's like, this isn't broken. Wait, what? He's like, what were you grabbing? Can I ask you what you were grabbing behind it? She's like, oh, my curling iron, but her hair is put up. And so
But your hair's not curled.
so he's like, what's going on? And he presses, and then she starts laughing, and he's like, what the? Like, it's just all a mess.
She was not going to tell him. She was going to let him brush his teeth with that dirty, nasty toothbrush. That's
Oh,
like
she would. I believe
awful.
she would have told him or let him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And it just is. It is what it is. That's all I can say.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is
crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah,
she's nuts.
It's definitely something that will never happen again. Nor
No.
should it. Should it?
No.
But yeah, it gets around the house. People start talking and they realize what's going on, and they're like, that's kind of fucked up, and they fight and argue. And Krista tells everybody. She gets told, and she tells everybody.
See, and I think Krista was smart for being the one to tell people, because she is in that good middle position. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we get all that, and we get more top conversation, and Kent really presses hard on Krista about being in the middle, pretty much threatening her, and she fucking put him in his place, and she told Hardy, and Hardy put Kent in his place too.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Kent, even after that, Kent should have realized, oh shit, I'm fucking at the bottom of this girl.
Exactly. Dude, Kent's ego's too big for that, though. He thinks he's like king strategist. He's not.
Oh, just wait. It's getting better.
I know. I have household now.
So, yeah, we get to Nicole. Nicole tries to have a nice dinner, and it lasts like 2 seconds. That's it. It's
dude, reason number 49 million why I don't like Shannon. Like, you couldn't just sit there and eat a dinner that was made for you. Like, sit down and be humble, you know?
I told you, Will is known as the villain of the season, but Shannon's the true villain of the season.
Shannon really is the true villain of the season.
So we get a little house meeting, and the toothbrush thing comes, or Krista's like, if you have something to say it to my face. Same with Monica. And then the toothbrush thing comes up. Kent still thinks, he's still asking, was it intentional? And Hardy's like,
Kent has no idea what's going on either. Of course it was intentional.
Yeah. And it's just,
Kent's an idiot.
And then Shannon was like, oh, you be dealt with. And he's like, are you talking about out of the house? And then it starts going to a dark place. It's like, oh shit.
They don't like each other. They've never liked each other.
And Boogie has a good point. He goes, look, everybody says it's not personal, it's just game, but it is personal. Shannon doesn't like Hardy. Hardy doesn't like Shannon. Shannon did that to the toothbrush. Was it wrong? She might feel wrong. She might feel embarrassed. I don't know.
Right.
But and Hardy is pissed off. He has every right to be pissed off.
He has every right to be mad. Absolutely.
He's like, so it is personal. Stop saying it's not personal. It is personal. And
Shannon took everything personally and reacted personally.
Yeah.
You know, she was calling him jealous, calling him, you know, oh, you want me. No, he don't want you, girl. Like, you want him to want you. That's what it is. And he don't, because he doesn't.
Right. And that,
I don't think he likes anyone in the house, does he?
He likes Krista. He likes
Krista.
I think she's
must be her Louisiana accent.
Yeah, she is good looking.
She's okay. She looks like my cousin Annie, so I kind of like, you know. But I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think she's good. I think she's cute. I wouldn't say like I don't know. She's all right. She's not bad looking. That pretty much ends episode 9. Is the house meeting. The toothbrush thing is wild. It's something that was never seen before. Like I said, probably never be seen again, and especially on Big Brother. CBS will not let something like that happen nowadays. All right, so episode 10, we really, there's not a lot to this episode because everybody knows where it's going.
And we had the family visit, or the family interview in this episode. So
yeah,
I really don't take notes on the family. None of them are memorable. Yeah, no family visits memorable.
We get Will's mom and Shannon's mom. Shannon's mom does not like Will.
No.
We get that.
Will's
And
mom likes Will.
yeah, and Shannon's mom is just as crazy as she is. She's like, yeah, I condone her using that toothbrush in the toilet. So I would have done it myself too.
I know. And then she was like, her boyfriend here is so great. Why would she leave, her boyfriend at home for that guy?
Yeah.
Girl, he's a doctor. He's a doctor. That's why. Because he's a doctor.
And he's charismatic. So
he's charismatic and he's good looking. He's a good looking, charismatic doctor. You think that, dummy at home is gonna compete with that? Right. Nope, that's why he isn't. That's why Shannon left him.
So we get a little date with Shannon and Will too. That's nice. It's
nice of the house to do that for them.
Yeah.
Especially the way that Shannon's been acting.
Right. And Boogie is definitely flirting with Krista. It's pretty fun. Honestly, I think it's funny. He's like, come spoon with me. I know you're not a big Boogie fan.
I'm not a Boogie. I'm not a Boogie fan. I think Boogie is so overrated, and I don't think he's that great of a player. But we'll get to All Stars when we get to All Stars. But
yeah,
I just so far in this season, Shannon and Will are the ones that shine on that side of the alliance. It's not Boogie and Will yet. Right. I'm waiting for the Boogie and Will of it to come out.
I don't think you really see it until the season All Stars.
Yeah, I know.
He did have a funny line though when Julie's like, "Oh, hey Boogie, I'm gonna flirt with Krista now." He's like, "Oh, do it. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing it all week." So that was fun.
He's such a savage sometimes. How old is Boogie in this season? Do you know?
I think late 20s.
He's older. Yeah. No, he's older than that. He's got to be older than his 20s that season.
30s.
I'm looking it up.
Go ahead, look it up.
I'm looking it up.
I'll keep talking. But
go ahead.
But I forgot to mention earlier, one of the lines that Kent had, he goes, Hardy is like smitten with Krista. It could be a sex thing.
If you didn't have kids, I wouldn't even think you knew what sex is.
All right. So we get Hardy's interview with Julie about his HOH reign, and basically, who would you prefer to go? He goes pretty much Shannon. Do you think Shannon's the right move here?
No. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think that keeping Shannon in would have been better because she's not as close with Boogie and she's not as close with Krista. And I think that alienating her would humble her a little bit away from Will. I think she would be a little crazy at the get, but then she would mellow out and then she would try to repair relationships. And I do think that Shannon can be likable enough without Will around to save her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To where she can develop relationships in the house and be able to make it a little bit harder than the next vote. I really do feel that way.
I think she might have quit. I think she
might have. She would have.
I think she might have did stuff to get herself ejected. To be honest with you, I think she is too emotionally unstable to stay in. So I would have definitely voted out Will. This mm-hmm. Okay. Look, we have the benefit of hindsight, but my games, if I have a pair and somebody's willing to leave, I'm never letting that person leave. I'm voting out the other person. And if that person wants to leave, that's good for me because they're not on my side. So I'm voting out Will every time in that situation.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Because what if she quits? What if she does stuff to do this? And she's only going to put the target on her back, paint the target on her back. What Will does,
also the fear would be her winning HOH.
Yeah, I can see that. That is mm-hmm. a risk for sure. I can definitely see that. But who's Hardy going home against?
Hardy's going home against Bunky.
No, I don't think so. Krista votes for him. Monica votes for him.
You forget though how strong social connections are in the house. Bunky has way stronger social connections.
So who's voting Hardy out in that situation? Kent, Boogie,
Nicole.
Nicole's not voting Bunky out.
Well, no. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Voting for Hardy to go home.
Yeah, it would be just Kent and Boogie.
You don't think Nicole would? You think Nicole's closer to Hardy than Bunky?
Yeah. 100%.
And Krista too.
Krista, yeah, they're in an alliance together. They're in an Untouchables.
Krista's in alliance with everybody.
Yeah, but she's not in an alliance with Kent and Bunky. Kent just threatened her.
Yeah.
And guess who stuck up for her? Hardy.
That's true.
Who stuck up? Bunky questioned.
I don't know, but I feel like Bunky's really light. I feel like people would have a hard time voting him out.
I think he goes home every time.
I'm gonna have to relax back.
I think everybody. I think nobody. He goes home against nobody. Maybe Krista.
No, I think Krista stays over him.
That's what I'm saying. That's who he might go home against. Maybe Krista, maybe Monica. But other than that, those are the only two that might send him home. Kent's gonna get voted out before him. Bunky's gonna get voted out for him. Nicole would definitely get voted out before him.
Yeah.
Boogie would get voted out for him. Shannon would get voted out for him. So Hardy is in a good position where he's willing. Me personally, if I was Hardy, I'd be willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
But we get to the vote. It's a unanimous vote, 7-0, or was it 6-0? 6-0.
Boring. I hate unanimous vote out sometimes.
So,
love them when I play. Make it hard when you watch.
We get a little I love you type thing at the end when Shannon and her, that's it. And we have a little interview, and basically it's boring. Shannon's like, yeah, I shouldn't have did that. I would have told him for sure. No, you wouldn't have, girl. You wouldn't have told him about that toothbrush. But that's about it. And we get to the HOH competition, and it's basically
step down challenge. They do this every season.
I like I said, I like some of these older. Now, they do need a mixture of these comps and the newer comps where it's more physical. I think like every other type thing or something like that.
What's your traditional favorite Big Brother comp? Traditional.
My favorite is the Majority Rules.
Majority Rules is a good one.
Yes. But you have to make sure it's like, they don't know what's coming type thing. And everything.
I love the teacup race.
The teacup race. Which one's that?
Yeah, like where they have to go up and down. They can walk back and forth and fill a container with liquid.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the slip and slide.
The slip and slide comp. I love the slip and slide comp.
So,
I think the slip and slide comp really. I love the slip and slide comp when there's like 4 desperate people to win, because they really give it their all, and it's just like it's so great to watch. Like Big Brother 8 with that teacup comp was so good. They went over 8 hours in that comp.
I would love to be an HOH, outgoing HOH on that comp. I don't want to do that fucking comp. I do the Paul strategy and sit on my butt and slide down though. But and we get to it comes down to Boogie and Kent, and it's the tiebreaker. And Boogie was so far off on this fucking tiebreaker, it was pretty embarrassing. It was, how much food did we give you for the week? There's 9 people in the house when they gave him the food. It's a lot of people. He guessed $185.
Oh my God.
$185. And
did he throw it?
No, he needed to win. It can't guess $700. It was like $1,200.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's a bar owner, a restaurant owner. He should know how much food costs. He had shrimp on there. That shit ain't $100 fucking dollars. Dude, I spend like $200-$300 a week sometimes on groceries. So.
A week? Oh my.
That's when my brother was living with us.
Oh, I bet. So, dude, we are terrible at grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Terrible at grocery shopping.
Yeah. So Kent wins. And we get next week, we're going to cover Kent's HOH. Now, this is a highlight for me of this season. It's so good. So
give us a little foreshadowing.
I look forward to I love this season. The more on the rewatch I'm watching it, the more I still love this season. I don't care. So,
hopefully this next vote out won't be as predictable.
It is. Spoiler, it is. It's we don't get no interesting ones for like another round or two. But
great.
But we do get some entertaining character moments. But yeah, that's basically it. We're struggling to get through this. So with Train, it's a little late.
We had 5 trains during this podcast.
Yeah. Don't worry, you guys don't hear it. None of them. So please like and subscribe and join our Facebook page, follow our Twitter, and all the links will be in the bio and the description. Thank you guys for watching and appreciate it. You guys have a nice night. Thank you.